All right, everyone. Well, it's about 9:05. We've got 25 minutes to the opening bell, and so far it seems like a little bit of a slow morning. Uh, really have had basically nothing, and then we had a couple of stocks hit the scanners here. VRAX is hitting scans right now. This one has a high 366. It is the leading gapper, but it's pretty thickly traded. The level 2 on it's pretty thick. I'm not sure that I'm gonna trade it or not. I'm gonna keep watching it. Yesterday we had some pretty nasty price action on SPAC mergers. We had momentum, but it was really tough. So that's an area to be really cautious right now. We're seeing these moves where you're seeing a SPAC merger go up, uh, you know, 100%, 200%, and then come all the way back down, right? That's a problem. So when we start seeing that, um, we've got to be cautious. So this is a time to be a little bit cautious, take it slow. I've got a couple base hit trades so far. I'm watching to see if there's more opportunities. I don't want to overstay my welcome. I want to make sure I keep really tight stops on anything I'm trading. So if it starts to go the wrong way, I can just jump right out. No emotion, just cut it. And that's the way you have to be. You just have to get in, get out, get in, get out. All right, so let's see. Yep, VRAX on watch. Yeah, I see VRAX going a little higher. I have this candle back here was 610. I have that one 527. Well, I'm looking for what's moving. You know, that's kind of the thing. If you could focus on one stock, if that stock is moving as obvious, VRAX, it's a grinder. You can tell it's grinding. It's moving, but it's not moving very quickly. So this is the type that, you know, at this point, now that it's finally opened up a little bit, well, now it's due for a pullback, right? It just kind of kept grinding a little higher, a little bit up, then pull back a little bit up, pull back a little bit up. Maybe it does start to open up more. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it's super, super strong. Um, you know, some of the other ones, VTAQ, a SPAC from yesterday, that there were some great opportunities on it yesterday afternoons. It went up 10. SHPH, this one over on my side chart, has given a bunch of opportunities. It has news out today, went from 9 to 10.20. So, you know, when you have that kind of big move, that's an opportunity. And if you choose not to trade it because you think, well, it's too risky, it's moving too fast, that's fine. Make that decision. Say, no, I can't trade these. And if you get in for a break and it doesn't work, get right out, bail out. That's the whole idea. Set tight stops, cut your losers fast, and hold your winners longer or add to them, right? I mean, you know, you've got to trade you. So, you know, I'll remind you as always, my results are not typical. Trading is risky, so take it slow. Practice a simulator before you put real money on the line. My hope is that it's helpful to see what I'm trading. It's helpful to see what traders who are successful are trading, right? Not just me, but other traders in general. And a lot of times you'll find that we're all watching the same stocks each day because they're the ones that are the most active. Now there's some variation. Some people might focus a little bit more on penny stocks. Maybe some people focus a little bit more on higher price stocks, but you know, generally speaking, we're looking for what's moving, right? If it's not moving, then, you know, I mean, there's just, so then it comes down to kind of a question of, okay, how much does it need to be moving? And there might be some that move too much. You say, that's too volatile, HKD. That's too much because the range is so big. You know, it's the downside is high, and I can't take the risk, right? Sometimes that's the case. Yesterday, HOLO, HOLO. I mean, I can't believe this liquidation. This was insane. It just sold and sold and sold and sold. You know, what the heck? It's hard to understand. How did it go from $36 to $2.76 in one day? It just doesn't make sense. So it certainly makes you scratch your head a little bit and wonder, you know, where did all the shares to sell come from? There was a lot of selling. Where did all those shares come from? So they weren't from previous days because there wasn't much volume. So then that always makes me think about insiders, you know, and you don't know. I don't know. You've got insiders, maybe some institutional traders that got blocks of shares during the, you know, the company coming up into the market, but it's just brutal to see those kinds of drops. So, you know, some people, you know, like we saw with Jay-Z, it's not different from what we saw in Jay-Z. Look at Jay-Z. This thing went from all the way up to $186 and is back at $3 now. We've been seeing a lot of this action. Now, some of these have provided bounces off the lows and things like that. Some of them you can trade on the way up, but got to be careful. So in case I didn't already mention it, trading is risky. My results are not typical. Most beginner traders do lose money, so don't blindly follow me. Practice in a simulator before you put real money on the line, right? Take it slow. The market will be here for you. We're sitting with about 14 minutes to the opening bell. I would say this morning, since our leading gappers VRAX, and it's up only 44%, I'm a little disappointed. That's not the big type of move that I would look for. But, you know, you guys know I'm a pretty aggressive momentum trader. I like to see pretty big moves. The biggest flush that I've been caught in. Hey, Chris, thanks. Thanks for doing that. That's awesome. So, you know, that's tough. I did have a pretty big loss earlier this year. It was a $40,000 loss on, was it HUDI maybe? No, I don't. No, I don't think it. Well, maybe it was. Maybe it was. It might have been on this day. Oh, JCSC. There were a couple of them. Yeah, okay, this was the one. It was on this day here. I tried in the afternoon to buy the dip. Dropped from $12 to $2.85 in one day. And I just started buying too soon. And I could have easily done it yesterday on Holo. I could have easily done it. I was watching the level 2 for a little while. I actually uploaded to Live Trading Archives some of the level 2 price action on it because it was very deceiving. You would have big buyers come in and it looked like it was about to bounce. And then, uh-oh, down it goes. So I think I got in it on this one, like right around here. This is just the biggest loss this year. So I don't know, 4,000 shares. It opens, halts down, goes way lower. I add some more. I was like, okay, that I'm red, but I added more, and then it halts down again, and then it goes lower. And I finally just sold down here for like a $40,000 loss, and I was down like 50%. I got in, you know, 8, and it's down to $4. And it just kept. I mean, I just kept selling, and I should have just cut it. But on that one, the thing is, the lower it went, the more I was convinced that it would bounce. I was like, this thing will bounce. And so you could have easily had that mentality yesterday with Holo or Holo, whatever. You know, it kept looking like it was getting ready to bounce. You know, you get these little green candles and it's like, okay, finally, here we go. We're going to bounce here at 6. Nope, we're going lower to 3. Oh, it looks like looked for sure we were going to bounce there at 20. Nope, going lower. Well, surely we'll bounce here at 12. Nope, going lower. So, you know, I hope it does bounce at some point. It could at some point put in a nice bounce. But JZ, the fact is, they don't always bounce. JZ has not really bounced in any meaningful way. Sometimes they just don't. Meg L, this one did put in a nice bounce off the low. About a 300% bounce from a low of 8 back up to $25. HKD, this one did put in a really nice bounce last week from 50 up to like $400 a share. Okay, so some of them do. And I'll watch it. And if it starts to hit the scanner and, you know, I'm like, okay, here we go. It's game time. Then, you know, I know what to do. I'll jump in. So my first trade today was right off the scanner, VTAQ, hitting the scanner right there. So jumped in that, squeezed up. That was an IPO or a SPAC from yesterday, went up to 10. So got some profit on that. And then we had SHPH on the scanner. VRAX hit the scanner and I pulled it up, but as soon as I pulled it up, I was like, nah, I don't know about this. So we've got 9 minutes to the opening bell. So I'm hoping to get some more trades today, but it just feels really slow right now. Thank you, Nicola. Yes, I do use a Falcon, which is a Windows platform. VRAX, well, it is the leading gapper. It's possible we could get a squeeze at the open. I'm not sure it's going to be a big one, though, but it's a possibility. So we'll keep it on a side chart. VRAX at the open. So a little bit of a slower morning today. Scenarios, Gary, where I'll buy the bid instead of the ask. For sometimes a dip trade, if I'm watching a stock pulling back, it's at $8 and it drops to 770. Maybe I put an order at 755 to try to buy a dip off the $0.50. Sometimes that will fill and it'll flush down to 730 and even lower, and then I can add a little bit more and hope it bounces off 7. So when you buy on the bid, you don't have the confirmation that it's going up. You're buying while it's selling. So usually I would go in with a smaller position as I'm buying on the bid just to be cautious on that. I wouldn't put like a 25,000 share to buy on the bid. I've never done that. I might buy 25,000 shares on the ask if I really like something. That I've done a million times. I mean, that I'll do. But on the bid, I go with smaller size, and I'm usually doing it on a stock that has a bigger spread. Because if you've got a tight spread of like 3 or 4 cents, then I'll just wait for the confirmation of seeing green on the tape. So I actually don't have a hotkey to go on the bid. I would actually have to manually enter the order, but that's fine. I would do it anyways because it's not bid. It's actually usually below the bid. It's usually trying to catch a dip. That's usually what I would be doing. It's not actually trying to buy on the bid itself. It's you put an order on the bid. I mean, you might get filled, but it's really trying to catch some shares on a flush. And that can work. Not always, but it can. All right, so 4 minutes to the opening bell. Game plan is the same. VRAX on watch for possible gap and go. We're on the third pullback right now, though, so that's a little bit riskier. SHPH currently gapping up just a little bit. It was popping up, had some news, but pulled back. First daily candle to make a new high would be over 1070, so SHPH is on a side chart. It's popped up a couple days, but it doesn't seem to hold, so there's more risk there. VTAQ sold off, so I'm not interested in that. BCAN, not interested in that. Meds is too cheap. HYRE is too cheap. So that's the game plan here with about 3.5 minutes to the bell. A bunch of stocks I'm watching, being a little bit more cautious, but hoping that maybe we see a couple more opportunities at a little bit more profit. Today is going to be probably below the daily goal, but well, I'm $1,200 off the daily goal of $5,000, so it's within reach. We'll see what I can do. All right, that's the game plan. Reminder as always, trading is risky. My results are not typical. Make sure you take it slow. Practice in a simulator before you put real money on the line. Those on YouTube will see you back here first thing tomorrow morning.